Can you hear me now? Here I was saying hi to everyone. And this is our first public ritual that we've had for a little while. I'm back from Ireland and I came back a little early, but I had some, housing issues and everything to kind of deal with because I didn't plan on coming back as early as I had to. And it's all fine now. I'm in Los Angeles, not at the same place that I was before. This is a new place. And hey, Irish Celt, awesome. Speaking of Ireland. So, you guys, the Irish Celt, he is the where I was staying in Ballyvaughan. I was staying in one of his buildings when I was in between, like what I was supposed to be doing. Well, anyway, not what I was supposed to be doing, apparently, what I thought I would be doing. And hi, yeah, it's great to see you too. So, anyways, we're going to get started on the ritual. So, today is the Elven full moon of new fire, which is Isilnarvinyë. So, the thumbnail that we have and the memes, they say Valima Isilnarvinyë, and what that means is like the happy full moon of the new fire. The month is called Narvinyë, and that is from Tolkien himself. And we kind of created the holiday for the full moon, and we have matched up, and you'll probably see this in the calendar document. We've matched up the moons for the Querons, which are when the moon is waxing and just barely new crescent. So that's what that means, is new crescent. And then Moron Norvinyë, which means that it's disappearing. It's fading and then it disappears. And there's 3 days between when it disappears and when it appears again. So about a day and a half is when the actual new moon is, but there's no words in Elvish that describe new moon. So we have to do the whole 3-day period. So just thought I would like throw that in there for you guys. We usually don't do the dark moon or new moon rituals. Well, I should say new crescent moon rituals, because we're just not, I mean, it would be like we're online all the time and we're having a hard enough time already. So let's get started. This is for Aulë the Smith, and he is the one of the Valar who created the dwarves, and he did so very lovingly and very in alignment with Ilúvatar, or Eru, the all that is. And he was excited, and he just, I kind of call him a workaholic. He loves to make things. So he created the dwarves, and he was just really excited. And Ilúvatar said, no, you will not awaken the dwarves yet. We need to awaken the elves first. So Aulë said, oh, and kind of allowed for that to happen. So the dwarves, in a sense, were created first, but they were awoken after the elves were awoken. And then, as we know, humans came later, and it's not even really specified as to when the humans came. And by some viewpoints, it could be that humans just started, just maybe even organically coming in, like how, in a sense, we have humanity changing right now. We've noticed a lot of changes over time. Some of the changes are, maybe not necessarily good for us, and other ones are, like, I think that what's happening is that it's tempering our strength. So I just want to tell you that I feel the whole thing with that. Okay, like we're definitely going through a big shift in humanity as well as the earth energies. And so one of the reasons we do ritual is to kind of regroup and reground into the earth. And match the earth energy, match the energy of Arda, rather than our, perceived notions of what we're supposed to be doing, which, is probably some kind of mental, dichotomy that's actually not in alignment with nature and the all that is, and what Iluvatar would like for us to be, aligned in. And what we ought to be aligned in is nature and balance and love. And what we're trying to let go of now is manipulation, power struggles, any kind of struggles, actually, any anger, any, feelings of fear, any feelings of, feeling less than, and that has a whole plethora of actions. So, glad to see all of you here, and on the replay. Glad that you could tune in. We wish you all a happy full moon. And I realized that the exact full moon was last night, but this will still work today. So, and in fact, it'll kind of work better because we're on the other side of it and it's starting to wane now, and the pressure is a little bit off. So we still have the full moon where we can like notice things and be enlightened, if you will. But the pressure isn't as hard as it was when it was coming up to full. And we have currently the full moon is in Cancer, and we also happen to be in 2023. We're in what they call a lunar standstill, and that means that the full moons that are in Cancer, Gemini and Cancer, and Capricorn and Sagittarius, they are what we call out of bounds. And this is out of bounds in the northern hemisphere because we have the moon in Cancer, because we're in the sun in Capricorn right now. And so with the moon being out of bounds, that means everybody's emotions are really, really heightened right now. And it also happens to be conjunct Mercury, which then Mercury is in Cazimi today. And it's also squaring Chiron, the planet of our woundedness, in Aries. So we have the Capricorn, Cancer, Aries happening, and we are also getting ready for Mercury to go direct on the 18th. We have Mars going direct on the 12th. We have a new moon coming on the 21st. And then the 22nd, we have Uranus, which has been retrograde for 6 months, something like that. It's finally going direct in Taurus. And we're also going to be in March expecting a Saturn to go into Pisces. And we recently had Jupiter go into Aries. So we have a lot of changes. Oh, and also in March, and this is later, will be Pluto for the first time in 200 something years going into Aquarius. And it's only going to come into Aquarius briefly and then retrograde back to the last degree of Capricorn, before we're in Aquarius fully by 2024. It is truly a time to hang on to our hats, boys and girls. Yes. So we are going through, and by the way, I need to mention something else for Aquarius. Okay. So in 2020, meaning the end of 2020. In fact, it was actually on the solstice, the winter solstice in the Northern Hemisphere in 2020, we had Jupiter and Saturn come together in Aquarius. And except for the 1980 conjunction, it is the first time that it's been in an air sign. It's been in earth signs traditionally for hundreds of years. And it went into Libra in 1980, I think it was 1980 exactly. It might be 81. Okay. That was in Libra. And then it went back in 2000. And it's a 20-year cycle. So it went back to Taurus by the time 2000 came. So we have all of these earth sign energies happening. We had it in Aquarius for the first time in a really, really long time. And that was in December of 2020. And Pluto is getting ready to approach that same degree of the kickstart that we're going to be seeing in technology. And I have a feeling that with Pluto there, we're going to have a lot of fear around technology. There's going to be a lot of things that are, you know, it's kind of like the Wild West in some ways of technology and some things. You know, there's identity theft and all kinds of things. But what I'd like to do is to make friends with technology. And as long as we are aligned in nature and love at the same time that we are aligned with technology, I think that we'll be doing much better. But we've got to be aligned properly as humans with the world that we live in, and also with nature and with the star alignment, you know, like all of nature, not just the earth nature, but like even the nature of the sky. So that's one of the reasons that we check in and do rituals. So we'll go ahead and get started. Let me go ahead and make sure that nothing is going to ding me. And okay, great. Okay, all of the comments. And by the way, I wanted to say hello to Draco and Nimue and Vera Faith, and of course the Irish Celt. Thank you for joining us live today. If any of you are joining on the replay, we welcome you, and you can always leave comments in the bottom. If you can't put in the live chat, like during the live stream, we will be reading the comments down below for all of you watching the replay, and we'll respond. And so great. What we'll do here now is get the ritual of Isilnarvinyë. So first we want to do the Linde Ellen Lote, which is the song of the starflower. And we begin at the center of wherever we are. If you can face the energy, like you can face east or west, whatever you want to do. If you might have a phone and you're more mobile and you can do that, but it's not necessary. You can visualize like looking east and west and whatnot. So we want to begin in the facing east. We will visualize the mists of the swirling gold and silver light starting to naturally create our ritual area. So we're seeing it come in from above, we're seeing it come from below, and we strengthen it in the center and put it outward. And we then intone Eru, which is the all that is, the creative force that created all of Arda and the beings, the elves and men, and also the Valar, which is part of the Ainulindale, creating the Ainur, and then the Valar came to the earth in order to like contract with it and to create what is supposed to be created here in Ea. Okay, so Eru is what we tone, and the elves call Eru Iluvatar, which means the All-Father. So Eru. And now we go to a 7-pointed star diagram. We can see here on the necklace that we have a 7-pointed star. I also have the straight one. Okay, either of these figures are fine. We still use the same 7 points. So we want to start at the 4 o'clock position of like right in front of you, whatever would look like 4 o'clock. You can just put your hand at that point. We intone Starday, which is Elenia. Elenia. Trace it over to the 8 o'clock part and intone Anaria, which is Sunday. Anaria. Then we want to trace it over to the 2 o'clock position and intone Moonday, Isilia. Isilia. And then we want to come down to the 7 o'clock position and we intone Alduya, which means the trees' day, meaning the two trees Telperion and Laurelin. Alduya. Then we go up to the 12 o'clock position, the highest point, and we intone Heaven's Day, which is Menelia. Menelia. Down to the 5 o'clock position, in which we intone the Sea Day or Mariner's Day. This is called Earenia. Earenia. We go to the 10 o'clock position and we intone Valanya, which means the Valar's high day, the powers. Valanya. Now we bring it back to the 4 o'clock position to close our 7-pointed star. Okay, also called a septagram, or if you want to curve the edges, we call it septaquitra. We intone Arda, which is the earth that we are on. Arda. And now we want to intone Ea 3 times, which is the words that were used to create by Eru Iluvatar. He said Ea, and that means behold. And so we want to do that 3 times so that it magnifies. Okay. And you can do it with your hands in the namaste position. You can also do it if you want, like, to behold, like with your hands. So this is what I'm going to do. Ea. We'll do it again. Ea. And one more time. Ea. We now acknowledge the directions, and we call in the Valar, and we acknowledge Iluvatar towards the end of this. First, you would like to face east if you can, and we would draw the Tengwar for Roman. Now, today I don't have my physical book, nor do I have my Kindle that usually has the symbols, so I can't show you. But you can easily download this, or you can look at one of our other public videos where I'm showing it, and you'll see what the symbols are. But these are the Tengwar, and it is an Elvish writing system, and we want to, and you can just draw in front of you. It looks like a Y with a tail. That's Roman. And then you put your hand in the Fear Not Mudra, which is your fingers together and your palm facing away from you, and it seals the energy, and we intone Roman, which means east. Roman. We now call on Manwe Sulimo, the High King of Arda, of the eagles and the winds, and his lady, Varda Elentari, the Queen of the Stars and the protector of Arda and Iluvatar's children. We welcome you into our circle, Aya. And then if you can, you want to orient yourself, turn right and face south. And with south, we will be using a symbol called Hjarmen, and we'll intone that. We'll put our hand in Fear Not Mudra. So I'm going to trace the Tengwar for Hjarmen. Fear Not Mudra. Hjarmen. We now call on Tulkas, the youngest, bare-handed, ruddy warrior Vala, and Nessa, the sister of Orome, and the friend of the deer, She who dances on the new green grass, we welcome you into our circle. Aya. And now we want to face north. And so it would be like a 180 from the south. And you then want to say Formen, but first you would draw the Tengwar, and it looks like a B with an underline. So you draw Formen. Formen. We now call on Aulë the Smith, who dwells in the ground. He is the Vala of mining and crafting of metals and gemstones, and it is he who created the dwarves as a gift to Ilúvatar. And to our motherly Yavanna Kementari, the giver of fruits, and the queenly Valier of Arda's maturing green vegetation of harvest, and of the life that nourishes us all. We welcome you into our circle. Aya. And now we want to concentrate on the center or within. So since we have our circle, we're not like in a real circle. We're many, many individual circles connecting together. We want to do the symbol for the heart, the inner mind, which is called Ore. We do the Tengwar for that, and it looks like an N with a little curl on the end. You want to draw this onto your heart chakra, so just like that. And you want to, instead of putting your hand outward, you want to put your hand over your heart chakra. We intone me, though, because that means within. Me. We now call on the hunter, Vala Orome, the lord of the forests, he who loves the elves and wanders all of Arda, on horseback with his horn. And to Vanna, the ever young and vital, she who aligns with the flowers and the new plant growth, we welcome you into our circle. Aya. Next, we want to direct our attention over us or above us upward. We will draw the Tengwar for Velia the sky. Now I'll show you. It looks like a U with a line over the top of it. And you'll draw this above you, but I'll do it for the screen. Okay, so I'm going to do this above me. And then you can hold your hand like this if you like, but if that's stressful for you, you can just hold it outward. And we intone it is Or that is above, but the Tengwar itself is for Velia, the sky. So let's intone Or together. Or. We now call on Lorien, Irmo, the Vala of the high light gardens, who nurtures our goals, visions, and our dreams. And to Este the gentle, the Valier of rest, sleep, and healing, we welcome you into our circle. Aya. And now we want to focus on the energy below us or under us. We want to draw the Tengwar for, it looks like Roman, the east. It looks like a Y with a tail, but then it has an extra tail over here. So I'll do that again. Okay, that's Arda. That's for the earth. And we want to draw that underneath us. Okay, so go ahead and draw what I drew underneath you. And you can visualize all of this. That's completely fine. You can then put your hand in Fear Not Mudra parallel to the floor. But we intone Undo because that means below. Undo. We now call on those of the Valar who walk alone. Ulmo, the brother of Manwe, the powerful and protective Vala of all of the musical waters of Arda. And Nienna, the Valier of our transformation and rebirth. It is she who with her tears intensely cleanses and restores all forms of fear, pain, and hurt that have come before. We welcome you into our circle. Aya. Finally, you can face west, and we draw the Tengwar for west, and it looks like an M with a couple of curls in it. So watch when I draw the Tengwar called Numen. Okay. We then hold our hand in the Fear Not Mudra and intone Numen. We now call on Namo of the halls of Mandos, the Vala of the balance and fair judgment of our respective paths of death, and to Vaire the weaver of the ever-changing black and white threads of time, the past, present, and future. We welcome you into our circle. Aya. And finally, while we're still facing west, the direction of ending. So the direction of the east was the beginnings of Cuivienen, the waters of awakening, which was the name of the lake where the elves had awoken. So now we're in the west where everything, and the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. So it's very resonant of even our current world. We want to draw a flame. Okay, you can draw a flame. Okay, or it could be like a candle flame, or you could visualize a flame in your hand or both of your hands, whichever way you want to do it. If you have an actual candle and you want to use that, you can do that. And what we want to do is intone Iluve, which is the all and the everywhere. It resonates with the flame imperishable. And that is explained in the Legendarium. We'll be doing a video on that thing shortly. But for now, we'll just tap into that flame that never goes out. Okay. Iluve. And you can put your hands in prayer if you'd like. We acknowledge that we are one with Eru Iluvatar, as well as the spirit of Christ consciousness for those of you who are Christian. And we feel the flame imperishable within us on this circle of celebration on this night. Laita. Blessings. Let us celebrate on this evening Isilnarvinyë, the moon of the new fire. In Tia Eldelieva, the Elven spiritual path, this moon is devoted to our beloved Vala, Aulë the Smith. Aulë taught the Noldor elves how to craft metals and gems into beautiful items with much intention of their thoughts of light and beauty. Aulë, the resistant, the resilient, created the race of the dwarves for the love of Iluvatar, the one and of Arda, of which he resonates so much with. We also take a moment to observe this time of the year, the wheel of time turning now toward the light. And though it's still cold in the northern hemisphere, we are excited for the new growth cycle to come. To honor Aulë this night, we will craft our own wishes into form. After a brief meditation, we will create our own sigil magic, whatever, and by the way, you can do whatever you would like for your own programming of your wishes. You don't have to use sigils. You can use runes, you can use symbols, and it's all visualized. We also know that we must be very careful what we wish for. Aule's energy is a very long-lasting energy and could even be considered by, mortal humans as permanent. So we want to be careful with that. We also can require much earth time to manifest. So the wishes that we create into form need to originate from a far sight of our own elven wisdom learning that we do. Some people might call that elvenness. Laita. So we want to prepare for meditation. And what I did was I grabbed some alkaline water from the water and I put it in this nice glass. These are halves of lime that are in it. And I decided to use one of the little ornament things that decorate the wine glasses and say which one is yours. And this particular one is brown. So I thought that that was a really good resonant with Aulë. And it has a leaf on it. And underneath it says blessed. Now, oddly, I bought these for Thanksgiving. Okay. But they all look very elven because they all have like leaves and, and just even though it's very Thanksgiving-ish, some of them, give thanks and, and be thankful or things like that. And this one says blessed. And, I just liked it for today. So I'm using it. I'm going to partake in my water. And you guys can partake in your water or whatever beverage you may have. If you don't have a beverage, that's fine. And we will be getting ready for the meditation. So you guys might know what the star flower looks like, but if you don't, we can imprint your water if you would like with the septiquitra, okay, which is our seal here on the necklace. Okay, we can imprint this particular symbol onto the water mentally before you drink the water. Okay, and if you don't have water with you, you can pretend by printing it in with your mental and then, like drinking the water. Okay. So let's get our feet flat on the floor, hands uncrossed, and facing up, down, as it's comfortable. So we close our eyes. And we notice that we are standing on Coro Larire, the green mound of the two trees. And we see this beautiful silvery moonlight of the white tree Telperion filling the left side of our bodies while we see this left side of us glowing silver. And while seeing this light in your very blood, we especially circulate this silver light in our ajna, or our third eye chakra, as well as in your sacral chakra, the orange chakra, which is about 3 inches below your belly button. And if you see other colors along with silver, that is okay. We just allow this. And now we fill the right side of our body with the gorgeous golden sunlight of the golden tree laurelline. And we see the right side of our bodies glowing golden. And this golden light is in our very blood. You may see other colors along with the golden light as well. Just allow. Circulate this golden energy in your crown chakra at the top of your head, as well as the solar plexus, which is the soft spot that is just below the joining of your rib cage. So we allow ourselves to be nurtured above by this healing light. And next we push our tree roots deeper and deeper into Arda, our earth. We allow Arda to nurture and nourish us through the roots. We're connecting to Arda, and at the same time, we now want to start extending branches through our arms, hands, fingers, even our hair. We are becoming the two trees themselves. So what's happening here is that we're bringing up energy from Arda the Earth, and we're going to pull it all the way up and over us to our soul star chakra, okay, above our heads, okay, with the earth energy. Bring it way up. With the sky energy, with the sun, the moon, the stars, all of the sky energy, we're bringing down, and we're going to bring it all the way down under our feet at the earth star chakra. So these energies can circulate all throughout. And what we do is we want to clear the red chakra. Okay, then we're going to go to the orange chakra. Okay, the red being the root that's between, like where your torso ends and your legs begin. That's where the root chakra is. We want to do the orange chakra next, which we just talked about, 3 inches below the belly button. Then the solar plexus, which is the soft spot just below the joining of the rib cage. We then do the heart chakra. If you want, you can do the immune system chakra that's in between the heart and the throat. It's kind of a turquoise color. You can do this one too. We then do the throat chakra. We then do our third eye, the Ajna chakra, and we do our crown. And then we ask that all of our chakras start balancing. And what we're doing right now is we're pulling in the new energy, but we need also a place to let go of some of the energies that no longer resonate with us. So in between all of your roots, okay, we want to make a grounding cord, which is like a drain. Okay, so in between all of your roots that you're pulling up Arda's energy, her fresh energy, you want to make a drain for everything that you don't need to go down. And this energy that we are letting go of, whether it's pain, whether it's struggle, whether it's fear, whether it's hurt, whether it's, frustration, everything that you would like to let go of, let it go down the grounding cord all the way to the center of Arda the Earth. And what Arda does is recycles the energy and creates new energy from this. So it's like our own ecosystem. It's composting, okay, basically. We're doing energetic composting and, eco, like friendly stuff here, okay? So the energies that we have from the earth and sky, we're re-nourishing ourselves and we're rebalancing our chakras. Okay, now just as the trees in the stories had a symbiotic relationship, now we can kind of play with this light. And so we see this silver light on the left-hand side of us glowing, and the golden light soften on this side. Then we want to switch it. Okay, so the silver light is soft and the golden light is very vivid and very bright. And the silver. And then the gold. Okay, so we're kind of switching this around. We feel the energies of Arda. We feel the energies of the sky, Velia, Menel, the heavens. We feel all of the layers of the cosmology that J.R.R. Tolkien talks about in the Legendarium. The Lost Tales, the Silmarillion, all of the stories. You may even connect with that part of yourself that might be called Elven DNA, reawakening ancestral memories. We might even be able to meet some of our Elven energy guides or connect with soul family in the astral. We might be able to do these types of things right now. So just allow these things to happen. And then we want to visualize going deep into Arda, into the earth, maybe in a cave. That feels right for meeting with Aulë the Smith. And we see him in front of us. We learn to really see and appreciate the world underground. And through the darkness, we can see much that sparkles, the gemstones, the crystals, the metals, in their pure and raw form, awaiting the shaping of a master through flame. We see these walls of the earth, and they utterly sparkle. And he shows us how to craft these gems and metals into beautiful objects, anything from rings to swords, whatever you can imagine. We see and feel the love that he has for his work, his craft, and he is a master craftsman. We realize we can use these same methods in our own lives if we liken the raw materials within our intentions, and we realize that they need to be purified with fire before they can take their true form, which sometimes can be an unpleasant process, but it's definitely one worth the experience and worth the result. When our intentions and wishes are purified and tempered by these fires, they can then manifest into the everyday world. And in this process, we also learn that some intentions are not strong enough to resist these fires and therefore should not be. We then learn how to make better intentions. So we'll spend about 5 minutes in a silent. I decided to not have music today. I decided to do it silently because I just felt like that was what was required today. I'm hoping that all of you agree. If you want a music track in the background, what I will do is, for the replay folks, I will link a video for you. But I think that today we're just going to try just silence for about 5 minutes. We'll see what messages and what symbols and visions come forth, but you can also use your own symbols and intend something. So now if maybe you don't think symbolically, well, then just use the letters of our alphabet, okay, and like see yourself writing. So see yourself getting a piece of metal from Aulë the Smith, okay, so he gives you a piece of metal and you just write your intentions. Maybe you have a symbol, like maybe you need extra money this year, so maybe what you want to do is put like a dollar sign, or maybe you would like to put any other symbols that mean money to you, okay? Maybe you would like that metal to be gold rather than silver, because that metal is kind of more associated with wealth, okay? I think silver works too, but if I'm just giving you some ideas. And we'll start the meditation right now. Let's create a beautiful intention with Aulë the Smith in the cave of manifestation. Okay, our meditation can now begin to come to a close. We want to thank all of the Valar and especially Aulë the Smith. We want to thank all of your guides, your Elven, Maiar, whatever your guides are, all of them. We want to slowly come back to the physical world, and we want to remember what had transpired during meditation. We want to bid all farewell, and then we turn our attention back to Koro Larire, which is the green mound where the two trees live. And we bring our consciousness into the trees themselves. And now we slowly want to draw in our branches. And as we want to do this, we also want to bring our roots up. We want to start unrooting from Arda, but we realize we always have this sky and earth connection. Next, we want to slow down the golden energy. And then we slow down the silver energy until it becomes small and portable. We keep a little piece of these lights and visualize them becoming combined into the jewels that are the 3 Silmarils. You can keep these jewels in your pocket and access their healing energy anytime that you would like. And now we want to take a deep breath. And if you're still kind of in the other world and not back in the physical world, you can put a little salt on the tip of your tongue, or you can do bread or drink. Sometimes just something in your mouth will help you bring back to the consciousness, meaning awake consciousness. And so sigil magic, I brought that up. It's optional, but sigils are where you take a phrase of, like, say maybe what you want, and then you eliminate all the vowels, and then you're left with the consonants only, and then you make kind of a line drawing, picture with a symbol that integrates all of the letters in some fashion, and then that symbol becomes a symbol of what it is that you wish for. Now, that's not necessary. You can use symbols, you can use intention, you can use symbols that already exist. You can also make your own symbols, like even just mentally. Some people use a pentagram for protection, and other people would use a cross for protection. So it's up to you how you connect with that. I should have maybe said that you could have had more than one intention, but hopefully if you needed more than one intention, you got a couple of pieces of metal from Aulë. So we're going to do our closing. Our work is done. We acknowledge the existence of Eru Iluvatar, the all that is, while we are in circle. And if Christians are present, we want to thank the Christ Spirit for being with us in circle as well. And may we see you in all outside of this circle. Laita. Thank you to all of the Valar, the Maiar and Elven guides, for being with us in circle and carrying out in spirit our work done here tonight. And we hereby open ourselves to you, even outside this circle, Laita. We acknowledge and are grateful to the elements and the directions and the silver and the golden light for creating our blessed space in which to do our spiritual work on this sacred night, Laita. And now we want to take the golden and silver light that we generated at the beginning of the ritual, and we generate all of this golden and silver energy, and then now we want to take this energy and push it back down into Arda the Earth. Arda, here is a gift of the energy of pure intent of love, light, and healing that comes from the deepest places of our hearts, and may it heal you and all of your inhabitants and bring all things to natural balance. The circle is now open. Laita. So let's take another drink of our, or if you have food, that's okay too. If you have some salt for the tip of your tongue, that works fine. And I would like to hear what anybody had experienced in ritual, if you are willing to share. So I have some new comments that I haven't caught up on. Oh, it says, thank you for the astrological update. Hi, that flat fellow. I remember you. How are you doing? Nice to see you. So while you're typing, or maybe like you don't want to type it, that's fine. No problem. I wanted to tell you some of the insights that I received while I was in meditation. And I was shown that what ultimately all of us will be wishing for is not only nature and balance, but also flow and happiness, joy, upliftment. Those are actually the things we want. So while we think we might want money, or that we might want, you know, a certain thing, and that's not saying you can't have it, because I think you can. The ultimate thing that we really want first, and it overarches all of the other reasons, is our happiness and our journey here on the planet in a body. Like, why did we come here? And so I was thinking about that. And so what I did was I, was restructuring mine, and like, okay, like happiness is at the top of my list, and then everything else, in nature and in balance. Okay. So we have that at the top of the list. And then all the other things that, if they match that intention, then that would be okay. And what I also did on my list was I put, and anything better that I cannot imagine. Okay. So sometimes spirit needs permission to give you something better than what you can imagine, because they can't bring you something that you don't ask for. So you might say, I want this, I don't know, something. Okay. Let's say that it's a red sports car, something like that. I mean, just something really tangible, right? But your guides are like, do you really want a red sports car? You're going to get tickets. You're going to be like, running a bunch of expenses. But we might want to try to help you, and maybe we'll get you a black sports car, or, like a gray one, something that kind of maybe more blends in, but then, you can still have the feeling of a sports car. Okay. And that's just an example. I'm just saying, let spirit bring you a better option, even if you don't know what that option is. And all you have to do is, when you're planting your seeds of intention, say, bring me this or better, if it's in my highest good and the highest good of all. Okay. So the highest good for you, the highest good for everybody else, the highest good of all. And that's what came through. So when I planted my intentions, they have happiness, and within the bounds of nature and balance in this creation, this Aya, this universe, and Arda, our earth, and Arda is changing. So we're, like, there's a lot of changes going on right now, and we feel these very deeply right now. And it's a really, in some ways, it's a very scary time for humans. We haven't went through such a purging, cleansing process, in quite the same way, maybe ever. So we're here at the precipice of something very new and exciting, and yet scary. So I can understand. So I look forward to seeing any of your visions. And if you don't want to do them in the live stream, you can put them into the comments a little bit later. Like if you want to reflect and say, okay, what am I allowed to reveal? What is secret for me? Those types of things, you can just put them in to the comments, the things that you want to share. This is a public video. I thought I would tell you guys. So be aware of that when you're sharing anything. So let's see here. Okay, I don't see anything here in the typing. So maybe some of you are still in meditation. Maybe some of you had to go. That's totally fine also. I look forward to seeing you guys very soon. So we're looking at Monday or so doing a video for a part 2 of Amazon Rings of Power, and that'll be with Dave and myself. And we're going to be talking about even more things than what we talked about before. When we did part 1, it was like the season didn't even start, like it wasn't even released yet. And now that they've released season 1, and of course they're doing more seasons, we're going to be talking about like what we found, also with how it relates to our path, because well, I mean, I guess that the overarching premise there is very little of the Amazon series even matches like this path, because while there is like an external beauty, and like the makeup, the cinematography, the music, oh my gosh, the music is really good. But there's a lot of things that don't really match the spirit and the essence of Tolkien, and his intentions with the material, with the Legendarium. And we could get a lot of non-spiritual viewpoints about that, but we're going to try to frame it within the way of the spirituality aspect and the viewpoint that we have. And I see where Draco and Nimue says we will post comments later. That's totally great, and I understand that. Thank you so much. And then we're gonna have our social Sunday, and we're hoping, now that I'm kind of staying put a little bit, I'm in Los Angeles again at a different place than I was last year. We're looking at possibly doing that on the 15th, and that is if I do not attend the local pagan conference here, because I like to go to that when I can. So, thank you for attending. You guys made it great too. I love this idea of like really getting our grounding cords going on and clearing out our chakras while we're doing ritual. And that way we can have a more pure type of magic that we're doing with our intentions. So I'm glad that you enjoy that. So yeah, I mean, I don't want to keep that a secret anymore. I think that most humans on the planet right now need a little bit of grounding and a lot of nature right now. So anyway, I am grateful for technology because we're able to connect with everyone, but we definitely need to keep it in balance with nature. So yeah, go outside, right? Walk around, put your hands and feet in the dirt if you can, or at least minimally in the grass, right? And if you can't do that, then take a sea salt bath, right? So anyways, well, I'll let you guys get going. You have a wonderful, wonderful evening, and thank you for coming, and I will see you guys very soon. Stay tuned for the social Sunday. We'll be on Google Meet. It will not be recorded, so it's whoever shows up live, and we want to make it a comfortable environment for people to share like what they want to share without having it recorded and all of that kind of thing. So I just thought I would tell you guys about that, and stay tuned. And we'll talk to all of you later. Thank you so much for attending. Bye-bye.